Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm your host, That One Camera Guy, and in this episode we're going to be comparing the Panasonic GH4 with the a6300, and we're going to answer the question on whether or not you should transition from the GH4 over to the a6300 camera. Now before I jump into my comparison, I just want to let you know I'm only going to focus on the video-centric features of these two cameras. As far as photographic capability between these two cameras, the a6300 is going to be just better overall in terms of its performance. It has a much larger APS-C sensor over the Micro Four Thirds. It's a newer sensor, so you're going to get better quality out of it. Now with that out of the way, let's jump into 7 features I'm going to compare between these two cameras. Number 1, YouTube usability. YouTube is a big deal. It's something we have to consider because the GH4 has been touted as the definitive YouTube camera. Now with the new Sony a6300, we got to find out whether or not you should consider one or the other. But in terms of just usability, the one thing the GH4 has over the a6300 is that flip out screen. When it comes to shooting video for YouTube, maybe you got a tripod, you got a light, you got a mic and everything, all that set up, it's really handy to be able to see yourself in the screen and know that you're recording. The 6300 just doesn't have that. Imagine you set up your a6300, you're ready to record, and you have no idea if it's even recording yourself at all or if it's even in focus. Now there's ways to work around it. You can buy an additional monitor, you can use your cell phone to check your recording, but in terms of just usability, the GH4 will be a much better YouTube camera. Number 2, event recording. First of all, I'm just going to tell you right now, the GH4 has a headphone jack, a mic jack, unlimited 4K recording. And just those features alone make that camera much better and usable versus the Sony a6300, which doesn't even have a headphone jack. It has a mic jack, but it doesn't have unlimited 4K recording. I like to do multicam work. I set up my camera, I set it, forget it, record. With a 6300, I just can't do that. So for what I'm doing, I'm going to give the edge to the GH4. Number 3, cinematography. In terms of both of these cameras, I'm going to focus on just trying to get that cinema look. With the GH4, you can get a cinema look. I know there's this argument about the fact that it looks video-y, and that is true, but you need to know how to set your picture profiles and also edit your footage, and also know how to get shallow depth of field with the GH4 or Micro Four Thirds system. You can get faster glass, or you can get a speed booster. With the a6300, with this APS-C sensor, it's going to be much easier for that camera to get that cinematic look to it. I'm going to give the edge to the a6300 for this category. Number 4, low light performance. GH4 taps out about 6400 ISO. Usable ISO is around 3200 and under. The a6300 is going to have a much wider ISO performance range. It also has a much bigger sensor. It's going to give better ISO performance. The edge goes to the 6300. Number 5 is slow motion. If slow motion is important to you, the a6300 offers 120 frames per second at 1080p. The GH4 taps out at 96 frames per second. So if you are looking for slow motion, the a6300 is your option. Number 6, lens choices. As far as native lens choices, the Micro Four Thirds system is going to win out compared to the Sony E-mount system. In terms of just the advantage that you're going to have, I would say there really isn't one, because the Sony can adapt lenses to it as well as the Micro Four Thirds. And when it comes to video, we're going to be adapting lenses to get the best optical quality that we can get. And so in reality, for me personally, I would probably not give an advantage to either camera. Both will be able to adapt lenses really well. Number 7, ergonomics and build. I'm going to hand it to the GH4 for just build quality and usability in general. It has that DSLR form factor, it's grippy. It's not massively big, but at the same time it fits in your hands and it's still easy to use. The Sony a6000 line of cameras are really small and really difficult to use. It's more of a taste of you just getting used to it. I'm not saying you can't use it, but it's not the most comfortable thing to probably want to hold for long periods of time. So with this, in terms of ergonomics and build for what I'm doing, I'm going to give the edge to the GH4. Well, that's it. That's all I got for you in this video. If there were any features that you think I should have mentioned, go ahead and post them down below. And also, I'd like to know whether or not the GH4 or the a6300 should have won on one side or the other. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Also, I'd love to know whether or not you're planning to upgrade to the 6300. If you are curious about how the GH4 and the 6300 compare to each other, I will be doing a video as soon as that camera is available. So go ahead and subscribe and find out when that video is out for you to see. And last but not least, if you did like this video, go ahead and give it a like. It really helps me out. And with that said, I'm your host, That One Camera Guy, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.